Thank you very much, folks, and welcome to my show. I can't believe those words, my show. It can only happen in America. First, a Muslim minister becomes heavyweight champ of the world, then a peanut farmer replaces a football player as president of the United States. So it's just natural progression that a dirty old man should get his own show. I'm also glad to be here at ABC, very glad. See, they're letting me do anything I want, all except the censors. See, they wanted me to do some of my nightclub material on television. So they said that they would decide if I could do any of that stuff from my act that I do in the nightclub here on TV. So they decided the only thing that I could do from my nightclub act was smoke. A cigarette. Anyway, I'm happy to be here. They treat me great. And when I came over here, they told me I could have any dressing room I wanted. Now, that was class. Then they said I could have any parking space I wanted, including the presidents of the network's parking space. That was more than class. And then yesterday came the icing on the cake. They told me I could use any drinking fountain I wanted. It's rough and it's tough. It's tough to get water out here in California. I'll tell you how tough it is to get water. They're selling it on the streets by the kilo. But I'm sort of used to that. I grew up without a lot of things, including water. We couldn't even afford salt. To get salt, we'd have to go down to the playground and scrape the athletes.
When I was a kid, I was poor, too. When I was a kid, everybody was poor. No rich kids, only poor kids, that's all. But I was poor. I was so poor, my rich aunt died in a will. I owed her $20. I was poor. Oh, once on my birthday, my old man, he showed me a picture of a cake. I sat there all day trying to blow out the candles. Now, with kids today, it's different. They got it too good. They don't appreciate it either. It was my boy's birthday last week. Had a little party, without the cake. The kid blew out all the candles. I said to him, I hope your wish comes true. He said, if it does, that's the last time you'll watch me blow out candles. That's a smart kid I got. Like the last time I took my kid to Coney Island, I asked him, want to go in a crazy house? He told me to save my money, be home soon. And last Christmas with my kid, that was a beauty, too. The kid wanted a BB gun. I gave him a BB gun. He gave me a sweatshirt with a bullseye in the back. I'll tell you, my kid, he drives me nuts. Well, for 3 years now, he goes to a private school. He won't tell me where it is. My block, the kids were tough. All over my face, I had pimples. They used to grab me and play connect the dots. The trouble, girls, what one is looks. The looks don't mean nothing. It's underneath what counts. Soul, depth. That's what's important, not looks. Well, how many times take a walk in the street, you see a tall, handsome man walking arm in arm with a short, fat, ugly girl. I never saw that. Did you ever see that? I never saw that. No, but looks don't mean nothing. I got a niece, an ugly girl. She got married. She's happy. She married an ugly guy, you know. And today they got two very ugly kids. Oh, it's nice to hear you laugh. I'll tell you that, really, you know. Because in Ireland, there's no laughs. I live in a rough neighborhood. Very bad. Forget it, will you? Just last week, a guy pulled a knife on me. I could see it wasn't a real professional job. There was butter on it.
After school, David Satterfield, school bully, came over. Beat the living daylights out of me. I went running home. Daddy, David Satterfield beat me up. My father sat me down, brushed away the tears, told me the true scoop on bullies. They're all cowards. All you have to do is call them out on it and they crumble like a cookie. Next day, armed with this information, I went back to school. Sure enough, David Satterfield came over and started pushing me around and said, "Oh, you knock it off, you big bully. My father told me about guys like you. You're a coward. Now buzz off." Jumped on his bicycle and drove away. Went to my house and beat the hell out of my father. Had some beautiful relationships with girls down south. I remember one girl in particular, her name was Naomi. She was my big relationship in college. Naomi was an unusual girl. She went to nursing school on a softball scholarship. She was a catcher on the softball squad, and we had a weird relationship. I'd be making passionate love to her. She'd be giving me infield chatter. Come on, man, come on, boy, get the money, get the bag. Oh, get the money. But very close, we were very close. Went through the Marine Corps together on the buddy system. I was in the Marine Corps for 3 years. Tough gig. I remember, never forget time in boot camp, orientation talk, when you first get there. First of all, sergeant comes out. All right, knock it off. We got this here orientation talk by Chaplain Diggers. But before he gets out here, I got a couple of things I'd like to orientate on myself. Now, first of all, in the Marine Corps, we ain't got no such thing as white Marines and black Marines. The only color Marines we got is green Marines. I hope that's clearly understood. All right, now, when you get through this class here, I want 10 dark green Marines to scrub down the floor. You light green Marines, just mosey on over the chow hall.
I mean, you know, this is America, man. Japanese can do pretty much anything they want to do, born and raised here, this and that. And I love the fact that I was the only Japanese guy that ever worked in a nightclub with Red. I remember in the old days, you know, when we was first getting started, he used to have clever ways of introducing me. You know, he'd say like, "Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, Kamikaze Mouth. The world's shortest colored comedian. My friend, the albino pygmy." But you know, with his success, he's kind of mellowed, I guess. He's beautiful. And you notice he's getting a little darker, too. But he took me, and this could only happen in America, he took me to the Apollo Theater. Where is a Japanese guy in the whole world ever going to work the Apollo Theater? And, you know, he had a tough time convincing me. He says, "Oh, come on, Pag, just be yourself." I said, "Red, I ain't been Japanese since December 1941. But, you know, I found a lot of unusual things about black people. I mean, I found, for instance, that all black people can't use chopsticks. But then again, who needs them with ribs? Oh, and they cooked great greens. I loved the greens. And there was out-of-sight cornbread and gravy and sweet potato pie. But I gotta tell you, gang, they are messing up the rice. One really kind of nutty thing that I noticed all over Black Harlem was everybody knows karate in Harlem. And you can tell because they see you in black karate all the time. Hey, yeah, well, go ahead, you got it. And then they go, yeah, you gonna die, sucker.
And then the kids say, them rock group, they give you those secret handshakes for an hour and a half. Right on, what is happening? Do your thing. Get it together. I don't know what that means. You ever see Dick Clark, a Soul Train? The kids don't dance together today. Because they got birth control pills. They know what they're gonna do later. Right? They don't care. They're cool. Hey, I'll catch you in the camper. When I was a kid, we danced close. You know why? That's all you got. And now it's all movies, sex, violence. I like the pictures with happy endings. They got sex pictures. When I was a kid, you weren't allowed to see sex. Kids see sex today. When I was a kid, if there was a couple making love, they would take the camera off the bed and show you the drape blowing against the window. And me and my dopey brother would sit there and look at the drape and go, there they go. We'd go on a windy day, look at the shade and go bananas.
I guess my fondest memory from grade school was my first childhood romance. Lila Mae Richards, what a doll. Lila used to sneak behind the swing set and play kissy face during recess. But like all puppy love, it came to an abrupt end. She flunked me in arithmetic. Well, I suppose everybody remembers some person in school who influenced them more than anyone else, and I'm no different. For me, it was good old Mr. Fosdick. Every day, he'd seek me out wherever I was and guide me in the right direction. He was a fine man and a great truant officer. He sure had his hands full with me. I had the worst attendance. I had a worse attendance record than the Oakland A's, but it wasn't always my fault. Some days it was so cold the car wouldn't start. So what was I supposed to do? Wait for the owner to show up? And like every school, we had our bully. Picture this, 7 years old, 6 foot 2 inches, 240 pounds, tattoos, and a mustache. That was our school bully. The one time we fought, she beat the hell out of me. But I'll say this much, at our school, we were drilled in basics. You know, there was no experimental teaching methods. We learned about things that we could put to practical use, like the 3 R's. Reefers, Ripple, and ready when you are, officer. Actually, I dropped out of school when I was 13 years old to go into show business. I didn't complete my education until many years later when I took a correspondence course. I got my diploma with me right here. Ah, yes, the old alma mater. Closed before striking university. Closed cover before striking university. Yeah. Yes, I want you to know this was no joke school. It's called the Harvard of matchbook covers. Why, we had a marching band. We had fun. One time we had to raise money and buy new uniforms. And you just don't go looking for handouts. We worked hard for that money. We raised $5,000 selling candy door to door. That Candy, she sure was a trooper.